This content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill
Wait
no
a
one.
second.
No.
We return to our planet. The High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of SeptumSin versus the World. I am SeptumSin, and today we are talking about pickups, and we are talking about the finishing of all of these upgrade pickups that I've got. I decided to do this on my own. I am running out StreamYard eventually, and I really got others I'm doing. Part of this year has always been about trying to get through all the pickups so I can go ahead and reorganize my collection in the way I need to. So, buckle up. We're going through some pickups here. So the first one is a video game pickup. I don't like this because it's a horrible physical media move, but it's Bravery Default, the original game, redone as an HD remaster for the Nintendo Switch. This is a game key card, which means the game is not on here. All it's on here is a little permission slip that allows me to play the game digitally. Now there is one advantage to this over, say, anything else. If I've got an online connection, no matter what Switch I put this in, I'll be able to play this game. I don't need my Nintendo code to get it. I don't need to be on my account to get it. I can sell this, technically, to somebody, and it will give them the game. So that is probably the only extra advantage. I am looking forward to this. I don't really plan on getting a lot of these Game Key games. Mostly, the only reason why I got this was because it was majorly on sale. It was like $15 at the place I bought it at, whereas it was never that cheap digitally, so there you go. Alright, next up, Zombie. Now, this is the unofficial sequel to A Night of the Living Dead. This was an Italian-made film, and they called them the Zombie series, and I have never seen it. But I went ahead and I upgraded to a Blue Underground version, Ultimate Collection, from the basic DVD that I have. And I wanted to just get this with special features because it is an important film. I need to see it. It's an important zombie movie. It's an Italian zombie movie. I feel silly for not having watched it, but there you go. Now, this is one that I had gotten from, I want to say Pony Canyon. It's a, but they only had the first season of it. Then Sentai went ahead and they got the entire series licensed and did a complete set, and that's Yuki Yuna is the Hero. I've still not seen a single episode, but I like it because it's compact. I've only got really one large Ponycan set, and the other stuff I have from them, which is limited, is still more micro-sized. Mostly it's a Sound Euphonia, whatever it is, series, because it is really good. But yeah, I am curious about this. Let's see here. It's about these people who do this hero club, and they try to do their best to give assistance to others. I don't know much about it. Looks like magical girl stuff. A lot of people who are into it love it, and there you have it. What we got here is an Olivia. Hello, Olivia. We got Olivia. Next up is one I've been wanting to upgrade. I'd like to see the sequel do this the same, but we have a 4K version of Young Guns. Young Guns, in my opinion, is right up there with Tombstone as some of the best westerns there are. I would say modern westerns, because that's what it was when I originally watched it, but I'm old. So let's just say that this is one of the best semi-modern westerns that you can find. I will leave it at that. So the next bit, I'm going over here with the X-Men original trilogy with X-Men X2 and X-Men Last Stand. Now I have these on a 2-movie DVD set, and I have the third one on DVD. So they really need the Blu-ray upgrade. This saves me space because the original was about that much, so it's much thinner. It has some extra special features on it, but no more than were on the originals. These are classic movies. I didn't care that much for the original X-Men movie as much as many people did, but it was okay. X2 was excellent, and X3 was... But still, if you're an X-Men fan, I think this is not a bad collection. It helps really reduce the size. So another one that I think is an excellent upgrade is the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory 4K. Now I'm upgrading it from a snapper case edition I got many years ago on DVD. And though it's not deteriorated, the visuals on this are spectacular. 4K really does a good job with this. They cleaned it up well. They did this. And to me, this is the best of the Willy Wonka stuff I've watched, including the book. The book is a little interesting. Roald Dahl was a little interesting. But still, yeah, it's about a bunch of kids get a ticket to this chocolate factory. This eccentric chocolate factory owner takes them on this Daredevil mystery tour, and we get to see who the last man standing is. As weird as that sounds, that's actually not a bad summary. Amazing movie. So another upgrade here is The Wicker Man. Again, I just had a basic bare bones DVD, which was actually an included DVD for the Nicolas Cage Wicker Man movie, which I don't think I've upgraded for that. I don't know if I've gotten rid of it. I don't think I have. I mean, this one, however, the Nicolas Cage one is kind of crap, but this one is really good. It's about a cop who goes to this island looking for this missing girl and just hits a lot of weird stuff. This is... Whereas Dracula, I feel, is an overrated performance by Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee's performance as the villain in this is spectacular. The man is an orator of sublime skill. I really think that people miss a huge chance when they get rid of his ability to speak in films. So, if you haven't checked this out, you really should. It is an amazing film. So I have a bunch of Wallace and Gromit stuff splattered all over my collection. And this is the Wallace and Gromit Kraken Collection, complete Kraken Collection, which has Grand Day Out, The Wrong Trousers, Close Shave, Matter of Loaf and Death, and Cracking Contraptions, all of which were separately released on DVD at one point. Now they're all on one little Blu-ray set, which is great. Upgraded visuals, upgraded sound, and a number of nice special features as only Shop Factory could give you. Wallace and Gromit is a delightful romp. Just delightful romp of the senses. I love these movies and shorts. They're just really fun. If you haven't watched a Wallace and Gromit short, you really should. It's well worth your time. So for the longest time they re-released Vampire Hunter D on Blu-ray, but they never bothered with Bloodlust. Now, of course, our favorite people at Discotheque have released Bloodlust on Blu-ray, and this is great to have the upturned visuals, sound. Unfortunately, for those of you who want the original Japanese track, it's not on here. Now, this is one of those weird stories where they actually recorded the English dub first. This was made for the English dub. The mouth movements, everything was made for the English dub. They recorded the Japanese afterwards. So is it the original Japanese? No. But for those who love to watch anime in Japanese, this is a disappointment set there. I really do think they should release a Blu-ray set of Bloodlust with the Japanese track, especially for sub-watchers. But if you're watching it to watch it in the original language, you can get that one because English is. Sort of like watching Afro Samurai in Japanese. You can do it if you can find the right set. But that's not the original language it was recorded in. Alright, next is a nice little set. The Vacation 5 movie collection. I did not get this for Christmas Vacation because Christmas Vacation I've got on a nice upgraded Blu-ray Steelbook. But there's no reason to have the other movies on Steelbook. Maybe the first one, but the rest, I do find the vacation movies amazing. I really enjoy them. This has, of course, Original Vacation, European Vacation, Christmas Vacation, Vegas Vacation, and the remake. And that's really nice. I liked all these movies. I mean, you have Clark Griswold, who is played by Chevy Chase, who's the big family man, trying to do big things with his family, and unfortunately, they always turn out wrong. The last one is kind of a sequel in a way, where it's his son Rusty trying to take a good old family vacation, but like the rest of them, he has the Griswold curse. It's a great space saver because most of these were in DVD format anyway, and that's all I need to say about that. Another great one I've upgraded to Blu-ray, which is UHF, one of Weird Al's first movie appearances and his first actual starring appearance. And it's about a guy who takes over a UHF station. For those of you who don't know, it's closer to cable access. And for those of you who don't know, well, YouTube before YouTube. And this is great. It has a lot of funny TV moments. And for those of you who don't know already, this is Ozzy, who wants to help me with the filming. And it has a nice number of special features. I really love this film. I really love the soundtrack, which is a studio album, by the way. And just in general, it's one of the funniest movies I have seen, and a beloved one from my childhood. So one I've shown off already. Oh, no, I haven't. Here's the Twister. I upgraded my DVD to a Blu-ray. Twister is a great film. It's about these people who are doing tornado hunting, and they're trying to put these sensors into the middle of a tornado so they can get better understanding of it. It actually did very well for the time and effects, but the effects have definitely improved since then. But still, Twister is a fun and amazing film. Now I'm putting this to the side because I upgraded again because there was a sequel to Twister that came out recently called Twisters. I have not seen Twisters, but I've heard it was a decent enough film. So I am curious, and I'm going to definitely take a look at it. Oh, you know what? I just realized some stuff here. I need to be putting these in seen and unseen. And you go up. Seen that, seen that, seen that, seen that, seen that, seen that, seen that. Not seen Twisters. Alright, now let's back up. Okay. So one I have in an Arnold Schwarzenegger 3-pack, and I've actually now got 2 out of those 3 in separate Blu-rays. Who knows, maybe I'll get the fourth one, the other one on, and I can get rid of it altogether. And that is the movie Twins. Now, him and Danny DeVito paired up for 2 major comedy movies, this one and Junior. I didn't really care for Junior, but this one was comedy gold. Essentially, there's this experiment to make the perfect human being, but it produced twins. Unfortunately, one of them got all the raw genetic power, and one got all the rest of the genes. You can guess which is which. And they meet up, and a lot of hilarity ensues. It's a great movie, a classic, one that I love from my childhood, and I am amazed that I can get this on Blu-ray with a good Shout Select coating on it and a few special features. So this one is great because I had all these movies on Blu-ray except for the last one, and they finally transferred all of them to one Blu-ray set, and that is the Truth or Dare 5-movie collection. So it has all 5 of them. This is a Joel Wynkoop classic. I've only seen the 5th movie. That's because Joel Wynkoop had a whole bunch of those DVDs. The problem is, a good number of them didn't work, so he would usually package them when you would order something with him, and usually package one for free in there, and you're always hit or miss, one will work or whether it wouldn't. I got one of the ones that worked, but I feel like this is a more stable transfer, and I do look forward to finally seeing the first 4 films in the series. It's about a killer who, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it does. The 5th one was good. I haven't watched the others, so I can't really hold to that. Well, I upgraded the movie Troll 2. Now, I have Troll 2 already on the Empire set I have, but it's an afterthought. Troll 2 is put on as an extra for Troll 1, but I think Troll 2 is well worth its own release because it's good to have the extra features because it is considered one of the worst films of all time. And I disagree with this. Disaster movie beats this thing like nobody's business. Essentially, it's about a bunch of people who go to this place called Nilbog, which is goblin spelled backwards if you're not able to really understand. And they are attacked by these plant-eating goblins that turn people to plants and then eat them. Yay. No trolls in it. Another one I upgraded to Steelbook, which a lot of people love this movie. I have been hit or miss on it, and that is Total Recall. This is an Arnold Schwarzenegger sci-fi feature. They did a remake of it. I have not seen the remake, but essentially you've got this guy who takes this virtual mind vacation and ends up going to Mars and ends up going on this real twist and turny thing about people's minds being wiped. Just entirely weird stuff going on throughout the whole movie. It's a really good movie. It's really well done. And I got it on Steelbook because it was like $5. But hey, it's not bad to have it. A lot of cool special features on it. And it is a really cool release. I mean, it really is. One that we watched recently, which is great, I had a chance to open this up, is Tokyo Godfathers. The original one I had was a DVD release, very few special features, as anime does. This is the G-Kids release, which has a lot of special features, including a short by Satoshi Kon and some good behind-the-scenes featurettes. This is actually his Christmas film, where you have these three people who are homeless. They find a baby in the trash, and they do their best to find the parent. This is a great, heartwarming holiday classic that could be an annual tradition depending on who you are. If you want to hear more thoughts on that, check out Animation Anticlimax. We did cover that on the show just this past Wednesday. One I needed to upgrade for my DVD collection. No, not the video. Was Titanic. I didn't need the 3D one because, oddly enough, the 3D restoration was only good for half of the film. I'd rather just be consistent all the way through. I don't need all the dramatic restoration. I just wanted it to be a little bit higher grade because, I mean, the man who did this, he really is good for high-quality films. And most of his films, with the exception of Piranha 2: The Spawning, should probably be on Blu-ray. So if you haven't gotten Titanic, you haven't seen it, I guess you should. It's about a love story aboard the Titanic before it sinks. Spoiler, boat sinks. And it's pretty good. It's a fairly good telling of the Titanic story. I've kind of multiple ones. It Happened One Night is still, in my opinion, the best telling of the sinking of the Titanic, but this one's actually still very good. Now, in my fight to try and collect all the Terry Gilliam films on either Criterion or other boutique, Thailand had an Arrow release, which is the closest thing to Criterion I could get for this. This is a very depressing film from Terry Gilliam. I'm not going to go too much in depth. It's about a child. Her guardian, I think, dies, and there's a lot of trauma and depressing stuff happening in this. But there's also a lot of fantasy-style weirdness that comes about that only Terry Gilliam can do. I really need to watch this again. It's been years, and I did want to upgrade this from my DVD version. Another watch I got from Umbrella Entertainment, which I do need to watch on my player, no region player, is Tank Girl. I only had the basic DVD for this, but I do have now the Blu-ray that they released, and it's pretty good. Tank Girl's another one of those future movies. We're in a post-apocalyptic future, and, well, she's good at tanks and all that stuff, and they did a great job with this one. I really enjoyed the actress who plays the titular Tank Girl. I think she does an amazing job. There's a couple of animated scenes in it, which also punctuate that. I think this is a great punk rock post-apocalyptic feature. So one that I had half and half, I had the series on DVD and I had the movie on Blu-ray, is Tomoko Market, which is about this girl who, is in this shopping arcade, so to speak, if you look in European sections, where you essentially have this area. Usually, sometimes there's a roof over it, sometimes not, and there's various shops there, but they're usually being put out of business by the big stores, and she's one of the children of them. Usually they like to do generational, And they kind of hang out with the different families of these shops. Tomoko Love Story is the sequel of it, where it goes into further with the relationship of the main character and so on. And if you haven't checked it out, you should. It is a fairly fun and enjoyable series and movie experience. Alright, next pile. Well, I upgraded Sweeney Todd, which is a great musical with Johnny Depp, and of course the late, gosh, what is his name? What is his name? Darn it. I hate that. Played Snape. I lose names all the time. But this is of course, a Tim Burton adaptation. A very dark musical about this person who kind of gets hurt. And he's after revenge. And ends up taking a lot of these clients and baking them into meat pies. It's very creepy, very disturbing, but still amazing musical, amazing visuals. Tim Burton does amazing work with that, and his work with Johnny Depp just shows how well he can get along with a particular actor, depending on how you feel about Johnny Depp. Now, this is the 4K adaptation of the Street Fighter II animated movie. This one actually I had on DVD for a long time. This one has a couple special features. I just like the fact that they did go ahead and up this to 4K. This is one that could use 4K. It is a beautiful film. If you don't know Street Fighter II, the video game, well, I don't know what rock you were under. But this is an adaptation of that story, and it does a great job of it. Fights are beautiful. They managed to sneak a lot of characters in there for cameos, and it does the story better so far than most of the things I've seen. I have not seen a better adaptation of Street Fighter II. Stay tuned! Another one I really loved as a child. This one is one that has the late John Ritter as one of the stars here, and they are sucked into this weird twisted TV world by the devil, essentially, who sells them a great TV experience in exchange for their souls, essentially. And, well, that is the gist of it. It's really good. I had a snapper case of this that was really beat up. I am glad to have this brand new, awesome feeling. And sadly, I think this is out of print again, which is sad. But I am glad to have this because it needed that upgrade. Another one that needed an upgrade a while back is Starman. Another one I had only on DVD up until recently. It's about an alien that comes to Earth and realizes that people are kind of hostile to him. So he has to flee and find his way home. Yep, got to phone home. And again, not a bad film by any means. One of my father's favorite films. I actually enjoy it. It's a very great sci-fi experience. If you haven't checked this out, you really should. It is a fun and enjoyable film. Alright, so I went ahead and I got Speed and Speed 2 in a double feature pack. Speed is a classic Keanu Reeves action film where you got a bus and it's got a bomb on it, and if the bus goes under a certain mileage, it blows up. And he's got to figure out a way to save the bus and deal with the terrorists in order to deal with it. Now, Speed 2 is on a boat. Very similar concept, but not as good. I like having them both on Blu-ray. It takes up less space, and I really needed to collect a lot of the sequels. I think if I was collecting this lately, it would just be Speed, and Speed 2 could just go kick rocks. But back then, I had to have every sequel of everything I collected. And it's all in one little area. I really don't feel the need to upgrade Speed further, so I'll keep Speed 2. Alright, the Space Pirate Mito collection is actually a space saver because I had both of this. There's two series, really, Space Pirate Mito and Aoi and Mitsuki, A Pair of Queens, which is the sequel series to it. Space Pirate Mito is about this, space pirate who goes and who is being hunted by these space cops. She's an odd bird that kind of switches genders, and there's a lot of weird stuff to it for that. I think people who are really into gender bender stuff would like this. She has a son, and that also goes into the weird gender stuff. I do have to wonder about the father, though, because the father of the son may be into them a little bit young. But lovely voice acting by Lisa Ortiz, one of my favorite voice actresses, which is the reason why I got in the first place. The first season was this thick. The second season was this thick. I'm taking it down to just the size of the second season. It's worth it right there alone, space-saving wise. Alright, next up, Skull World. I upgraded this. I have a very beat-up DVD of this one because it is out of print. And they put it back into print briefly. I don't know if it's still in print, but I think it is. And they upgraded the visuals. This is a LARPing film. A LARPing fantasy film, basically, about these people who are going on these odd LARPing adventures. And one person is trying to pull his girlfriend out of it. And there's a lot of craziness going on at this point. This one eventually is going to make it onto Tabletop Horror, which is on hold right now while I'm putting my life together and putting a movie together. But when I get back into it, this one will be shown, and this will be the one that most people will watch that are watching it. So, if you haven't watched, we did Skeleton Key on Inside Movies Galore, and I did upgrade this a little bit too late to Blu-ray. I do have the DVD of this, but I think it deserves more. It's about this woman who goes to take care of this person who is dying, and a lot of weirdness is going on surrounding this and how he got to where he was, including some, well, black magic, so to speak. So if you haven't checked this out, you should. It is a fun piece of work and a great horror film. So I picked these up. Jacob actually sold me this one. I went ahead and upgraded the DVD of this one. And both of them are upgrades from DVD. I hadn't actually seen A Dame to Kill before, but thanks to this being used, I actually did do it. I had to upgrade the Blu-ray case even for this, so it needed to be seen. Sin City is just a great film overall. It's a very dark noir film, which is taken directly from the comics. I want to say Dark Horse Comics, but I could be wrong. And it's great having both of these as an extended cut I have not seen. Though I did love the original film. It's mostly done in a black and white aesthetic with a couple of colors shown in to get the punctuation. It has a great gritty comic book pulp look to it. If you like pulp noir type series, you would like this. And I don't care for noir that much, but I really liked it. I liked them both. Alright, The Simpsons movie, which is the only Simpsons stuff I have because they decided to stop doing the physical media. I used to have all the seasons, but then when they said, no, we're not going to do it, the creator said, when the show is over, we'll think about a physical media set, but I'm mostly fine with just streaming. So I said, well, then I'm not going to bother with it. So I went ahead and I did get The Simpsons movie, though, because it is a cool milestone. I saw it in theaters. I had a beat-up DVD. You know the story. This one has a few more special features in it. It's kind of fun. It's about, well, pollution, and there's Spider Pig. If you haven't seen that, you should. It's Spider Pig. Spider Pig. Does the things the Spider Pig does. So, this next one, another twofer. I upgraded my Silent Hills. Now, the first one is a Shout Factory release, and this one Universal did a limited Blu-ray of. Now, Silent Hill is actually a fairly decent adaptation. The only thing I disliked about it is the director felt that Harry Mason wouldn't have done it because a father wouldn't go to those lengths for their daughter. Only a mother would, and I think that's bullshit. And sexist, by the way. And they had to put Pyramid Head in there, which was not a Silent Hill 1 or 3 thing. But still, as adaptations go, it's actually fairly good. I love the visuals. It tells its own story. It's just not the video game story. This one, that one follows along the first film. This follows along the first game. This follows along the third game, which makes sense because the third game is the sequel to the first game, where you've got Heather Mason, who is the daughter, who I guess survives and gets to the real world somehow. Even though it doesn't seem that way in the first movie. And how she deals with all of this. It's a fairly decent adaptation, not as good an adaptation as we would like, but better adaptation than I thought this one was, though people disliked this one more. Okay, so Shawshank Redemption, I had this on DVD, which is really a bad thing because this is considered one of the best movies of all time, even though it does do the magical, thing. It's just got some great acting from Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. This is an amazing film about a guy who was locked up in a prison for a crime he did not commit and is working his way to escape. Amazing film overall, very enjoyable. It was cheap on holiday sales, so I went ahead and upgraded from basic DVD to full-on Blu-ray. This one I had only on the basic DVD sets, and they stopped, and that was Shaun the Sheep. I actually think this is a cute little claymation one by Armand Studios, the ones who did, well, we know this one. They're the ones who did the Wallace and Gromit series. Now, this one is the complete series, so it has all the seasons on it. It doesn't have all the movies on it, which is fine because it doesn't need the movies on it. I've got several of the movies on Blu-ray, so now this is all here on Blu-ray, all of Shaun the Sheep. I'm debating whether I want to keep this or not. I do need to watch it. I love the movies, so probably will keep it because I like the movies. Now, this one is not really so much an upgrade. I just got it because I wanted to show it off, and that is Shackle Demon Project. This is a newer release. This is the first time we've released it on DVD. It is on the link below if you want to buy a copy of the Shackle Demon Project, which you should, because this is one of the coolest micro-budget found footage films you can find. In my high opinion, one of the best micro-budget found footage films. This stars Kyle Rappaport and Douglas Godino, a pair of kids who have noticed something funny going on in their house, some funny things going on. They find out it is the Shackle Demon, who is this demon who is in chains below, and no one is getting out alive. Now, this is actually really done well. This is still cut, I want to say. This one, however, with new art on the front. Now, if you like the old art, there is an insert inside with this old art, which I actually prefer, believe it or not. Nothing against the person who did that. And I do think that this was actually pretty good. This one has all special features. This one did not have room for a lot of the special features, though it does have a few. There's a commentary track. It has some blooper reels. It has a whole bunch of cool stuff on it. And a full analysis of the film by yours truly. If you haven't seen it, you really should if you like found footage films and you like micro-budget films. This one also can be bought on the link below to our Kanaki shop. And why not buy a copy of Amityville Webcam while you're at it? And Tales of the Forgotten 1 and 2. So, the sequels to the Mummy series would be the Scorpion King series, which is a series that was primarily led by The Rock, but moved on. There were 5 movies that came from that, and this is a 5-movie collection on Blu-ray, which covers them. I like that they're all together. I had them on loose DVDs, so I think this is better than like 5 different discs. And they're okay movies. They're not bad action flicks. I've seen all but I think one of them. I need to see that last one, but that's, as it is. So this one here is kind of cool. There is a Christmas anthology, and I cannot remember the name of it, but has this. But this was actually one of my favorite ones on it, and that is Sleigh Ride. Now, the director of that, which is this is a short where you've got the Santa Claus, and he's leaving. He finds out his wife's cheating on him, so he just goes on this rampage. It's actually quite fun. I enjoyed it. It's probably one of my favorite ones off of that particular anthology, and the director heard about that, and he's like, oh, well, shoot, you want me to send you one? You just pay me a little bit here, and I'll send you a copy. And he did, and he signed it for me. I'm going to probably keep this with me on the Christmas ones, and I might keep it to watch it separately because I think this is probably the best one out of this. Normally I don't double dip like that, but in this case he says a little bit extended. I haven't watched this extended version, but I plan to in the future. Now, another one I feel is a fun one that is enjoyable all the way around, is Santa Jaws. I like this so much I got it off of the DVD collection that was on, so I get rid of that and have it on its own. It's about a guy who likes to draw with comic books, and he draws gets a special pen that makes things come to life, and he ends up drawing Santa Jaws, which is a which is a killer shark that gets the powers of Santa Claus, and people are now having to fight this. This is a hilarious holiday pick. We've covered on Inside Movies Galore if you want to know more. It's just an enjoyable, fun film. Now I'm back to this. I used to have the 4K Rocky, but the version that I got from Amazon, the discs were not working. So I'm back to the Rocky, Sylvester Stallone Rocky Heavyweight Collection, which does have all 5 films, which is great. Unfortunately, it does not have the redo of Rocky 4, which is why I wanted to get the 4K. But it does have all 6 of the films, Rocky 1 through 5 and Rocky Balboa, which is really good. And it is on Blu-ray, which is also good. And that replaces my individual DVDs, which is also good. Really, I don't have much more to say about that. Rocky is just an amazing story, amazing films. I like them all, including the 5th film. 3 is my least favorite, oddly enough. So, if you haven't watched this, you really should. It is an amazing set. This I had on DVD, which is Robots. Again, mine was beat up. I kind of like this. One of Robin Williams' roles. It's an enjoyable enough one. Not much more to say about that. It's just a fun little kid's film about robots and trying to fight old age, I guess you could say. The rich can deal with it, but the poor cannot. Alright, so, Record of Lodoss War. I upgraded this because the one I got was an old rental copy, which is bad. I don't like having just old rental copy. It also includes Chronicles of the Heroic Knight, so it includes both Record of Lodoss War series. That one goes into Crystallia, which is a different type of series, which I do have on one, but that's not on this. So this one really is a space saver because even the original OVA was that big, and Record of the Chronicle of the Night was that big, so this was actually a great replacement for that. They're both enjoyable series. The people who did it role-played and actually took their campaign and turned it into a manga and an anime. So if you haven't seen it, you really should. Alright, one of my other ones that I upgraded, Somewhere to Real Men with James Belushi is, well, Real Men, sorry, Stay Tuned is what I meant. Yeah, but this one has James Belushi and John Ritter. Very fun film, very enjoyable film about a secret agent and aliens and the guy who gets caught up in this group. If you haven't checked it out, you really should. It is very fun. I really love James Belushi in it. I don't know why, but he always used to remind me of Bill Murray. And this one in particular, I think that Bill Murray and him could have been interchangeable in that role. Another great one upgraded from DVD is Real Genius. I mean, it's hard to beat this one. It's Val Kilmer, one of his early roles. They're in the school for geniuses. They find out they're being exploited by the military. And it's a really good one about finding yourself, doing well, and that popcorn scene is great. And Everybody Wants to Rule the World, that song really kicks at the end. I think that really helped kick that off. It's an amazing and fun film. If you haven't checked it out, you really should. This needed to be upgraded for a while. On a 4K upgrade, I couldn't resist. Ramen Fighter Mickey is a interesting thing about this girl who works at a shopping arcade. Again, we're back to that again. She delivers ramen. She's a martial artist, and she is a little bit of a bitch. But so is her mother. And there's a lot to this. It's fairly comedic. It's very similar to Ranma in a lot of ways. Ramen. But if you haven't checked it out, you should. The DVD of this is like 3 DVDs, so this is a definite downsizing and upgrade for the Blu-ray. So, another Stallone pick, Rambo 5-film collection. This one has some special features, not a ton, but it's alright. I just wanted the movies in higher definition, and it did. The first Rambo is probably the best Rambo, but this has basically all of the Rambo movies, including the newest one, Last Blood. This has, First Blood Part 2, Rambo 3, Rambo, which was very bloody, and then finally Rambo Last Blood, which I have not seen yet. But I'm kind of glad to have them all in one little tight collection. So another one that was a great film, great horror film, it wasn't as horrifying as I thought it was when I saw it. You could see Spielberg's involvement in it, making a little bit less horror and more closer to a family-friendly horror, as some of them were. back in those days, and that is Poltergeist, about a family that gets a house. It's on top of an Indian burial ground, as you do, and unfortunately bad things happen. If you haven't seen it, this is a classic, well worth the 4K upgrade from DVD. I am very happy with that. Speaking of horror, one that's even more horrific is an anthology series called Pet Shop of Horrors. It's about this pet shop owner, which is a very bad gay stereotype, ends up, giving these pets out, and they have these rules. People break the rules, and, fuck around and find out. And that's exactly what this is. This is basically fuck around and find out the movie. And this series is actually really good. It's each one is a different story. It's a very short 4-episode series. It's an amazing, horrific one. Probably one of those horror anime that is there. I don't think horror anime is scary in the slightest, but what it does do is it can be disturbing, and that hits the disturbing button many times. This one I've been wanting to upgrade for years, and I just waited for it to come down in price, and I finally got it for $5, and that was Persepolis. This is talking about, it's an animated film, talking about this person who's kind of leaving Iran after the change, and you kind of get to see the change from how things were before and after the revolution, and it's a great story, very heartfelt story, and probably is topical considering all of the riots and stuff going on right now. That's more because of economic strife, which, if there's anything that'll overturn it, it'll probably be that. If the government can't feed its people, they are less willing to overlook stuff like this. But we will see how it goes. This is a great film, nevertheless, showing a piece of life that's there. The only Criterion one I have in my upgrade pile right now is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I had to get this. This upgrade of my Blu-ray to the 4K. Normally I wouldn't bother to upgrade Blu-ray to 4K unless there's a good reason, and this is it, because it's a 4K that's a Criterion with tons of special features. And just in general, a great film. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is about a boy who gets his bike stolen and he's got to get it back. And that boy is played by the late Paul Rubens, who is the character Pee-wee, who, if you haven't heard of Pee-wee, well, I understand. But if you haven't seen this movie, you should. It has some great acting jobs. One of Tim Burton's first films, which, again, that makes it well worth checking out. If you haven't checked this out, you really should. Alright, Paranormal Activity. Now, there was another Blu-ray set that came out that's like this big. And I'm like, I don't want that. I don't have that room. So I got the one that's this big, which has all 6 of the films in it. I think there's another one out, but I can't remember. I like the Paranormal Activity movies. They're slow burns. Basically, it's about like a haunting, a little bit here, a little bit there. Big thing at the end. And that way. Jump scare time. But again, if you haven't seen Paranormal Activity, this is not a bad way to pick it up. It's not that expensive, and it's got most of them. Limited number of special features, but that's alright. I rarely watch them. I have seen all of them. They're pretty good overall. None of the films I say are bad, but there's some that I could watch less. So in my fight to get all of the steelbooks, with the exception of Tokyo Godfathers, which has none, we've got the Satoshi Kon steelbook for Paprika, which is 4K. Paprika is again, it's kind of a fantasy and imagination world. It's mixed with this technology and sci-fi dream thing. And Paprika is a dream terrorist. Now, I haven't seen it in many years, but I do know it's very trippy. Probably the most trippy Satoshi Kon film. So if you haven't checked it out, you should. I need to watch it again. I'm going to find an excuse in the future. Maybe Anime Anticlimax. So, I have seen these now. All of them. And they bother me a lot. And that's Open Water, the collection, which I've got the 3 movies. All of them are about people being left out. One of them is just people getting caught in a cage dive. The others are just out in the open ocean. I'm not going to ruin the endings of it, but let's just say these are some of the most disturbing movies ever, especially if you have that phobia of like nothing being underneath you and all that. It is the definite for that. One I got very recently is I did a thinning of the thinning. I microsized it, which is I went from DVD to Blu-ray of Handmaid May, about a guy who gets this maid robot essentially, and she is his servant. It's a pretty cool series. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed what I got. This is 11 episodes long. Has Kotaro Umbra in it, which is one of my favorite villain type characters. It is one of those type of weird harem series. The next one in that is Deers, another harem series about these aliens that come over, and they're actually slave aliens. They're looking for masters from another world, and I do have the entire manga of this. Peach Pit's the one that did this, and you got this one defective one called Ren, and this guy gets a hold of that. It's a pretty good one overall. I do enjoy it. I need to watch it again because it may not hold up because I was younger when I did originally watch and read it. One that came late, so I was not able to watch it this year, but next year, is the 4K of the original Black Christmas. Now, I have the regular DVD of that. I need to get they need to do a 4K of the first remake, Black Xmas, but who knows if that'll ever come out. I really do like this. I really do think that it's a great movie. I am kind of glad to see them do a full restore and scan of it. Lots of special features with this. Shout does a good job with this with their Scream Factory edition. And there we have it. Now another thinning is Azumanga Daioh. This goes from my old DVD one. This is way back, early collecting of anime. One of the original Slice of Life series of these high school girls. And I don't know if it still holds up. I haven't actually watched it in years, but I do worry about the condition of my set. It is kind of beat up, and I do worry a little bit. So I'm kind of glad to go ahead and get this as an upgrade. And finally, this Cheech and Chong one, because I had Cheech and Chong's next movie, Born in East L.A., on separate discs, but the only way to get out of my room is on this collection. I don't mind getting this 3-film collection because the other two are on basic DVDs anyway. So having all 3 of them in a nice compact, it's a great space saver. I want to get all their movies, and I think I've got them all. I just am not quite sure. They were a great comedy team and one of my father's favorites. Well, that's it for all of my upgrades. On Monday when I do this, which will premiere before this video, you'll see a great stream where I show a lot more of my pickups that are not just upgrades. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and share. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
SeptumSin versus the world. It's that place for all the boys and girls. You'll feel real safe, you'll feel real warm. It's a cozy place to ride out the storm. SeptumSin. SeptumSin and his best boy Jake see the trends that scare us every day. Physical media is going to the side. Doctor streaming will rule the world in time.